Hello and welcome to ESSECs Experience Week 2024, organized by the Asia Pacific Campus in Singapore. We are excited to welcome you today as we have a very special webinar where we will learn how businesses and organizations can be successful and sustainable. Professor Tommaso Ramus, ESSEC Business School's Academic Director of the Master of Science in Sustainability Transformation Program, will lead today's session and explore topics such as sustainable development, corporate responsibility, and strategic innovation. There will also be a Q&A segment after Professor Tommaso's presentation. Feel free to share your questions via chat, and the professor will answer them. Thank you, Professor Tommaso, just for joining us today. I'll give you the floor to begin your session.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that you can hear me well, and welcome to this session. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us this time in the evening, I assume, for you. Here in Paris is lunchtime. So today, the idea is to talk a little bit about the Master in Sustainability Transformation, and to provide you with some insights about the main pedagogical contents and objective of the master, with the intention of highlighting why this master is important and can enable people to find outstanding business job opportunities in a domain, the one of sustainability, which is increasingly important. And I want to be crystal clear about this. Already at the very beginning of this presentation, this master is designed to provide participants with a very comprehensive understanding of sustainability, understood in terms of environmental, social, and economic variables. So how to recombine these different drivers in a very global context. So why is this master important, and why is this master needed? Well, it is needed and important because, as I said, there is an increasing demand for jobs and experts in the sustainability domain. The reason being that, if I'm able, many companies, and here you have just a few examples of those kind of companies, many companies in different industries, different geographies, different setting, different market positioning. Here you have completely different companies in terms of governance, industry, business model, orientation toward profitability, etc. For instance, Patagonia is strongly environmentally committed and actually designed to drive a positive change in society, which is, of course, not the objective of Nike, which is a listed company, definitely defined to maximize profitability for shareholders. But still, here you have 4 examples of 4 completely different companies, all of them strongly engaging into sustainability and in trying to identify more innovative solutions to address complex societal problems. So not only minimizing their negative externalities, which was the old approach towards sustainability, but also trying to find a way to create more inclusive jobs, to drive positive change in society and the environment by addressing complex societal problems, like, for instance, pollution, on environmental degradation. So there is an increasing demand for companies to really engage into these kind of challenges, not only, and this is very important, not only within specific specialized departments, usually the sustainability or corporate social responsibility department, but throughout the organization. So all supply chain management, for instance, is increasingly demanding managers to be capable to understand and recognize social and environmental issues, how to deal with suppliers, first and second tier suppliers, to provide them with decent working conditions, and what does it mean in different contexts and for different industries. Just to give you an example, not to talk about marketing, not to talk accounting and accountability, with an increasing pressures from society and regulators to companies to be more transparent about their social and environmental positive and negative impacts. So here you have 4 examples of companies that are at different levels, but all of them strongly committed to address social and environmental issues. And I would say that they clearly represent a trend, a very common trend, a global trend affecting and influencing companies all around the world, multinational companies, small and medium enterprises, any kind of organization has to increasingly invest into sustainability. We have strong empirical evidence about that, with numbers suggesting that companies are investing in order to introduce sustainability at the core of their business model and of their practices, not just as a communication tool, but actually as a way to develop a distinctive value proposition, to create or enter in new market niches and address in different ways customer demands, which are changing, and including also social and environmental variables. So we have strong empirical evidence about that. We have strong empirical evidence about companies which are getting the B Corp certification, for instance, which is one of the many certifications basically proving that companies are working to address social and environmental issues. And of course, getting these kind of certifications requires some kind of expertise and competencies. Maintaining them requires different kind of competencies, and also communicating them requires some kind of specific competencies about also marketing, communication skills, because of course, this kind of certification can be very powerful, but also very dangerous for organizations whenever external audiences see some kind of inconsistency or inauthenticity in the way in which companies deal with sustainability. Last but not least, institutional investors, financial markets are increasingly rewarding socially responsible businesses or penalizing socially responsible businesses, asking for companies to provide very specific kind of indicators about their social and environmental commitments. So ESG, the ESG movement, environmental, social, and governance indicators, this kind of movement is acquiring importance all around the world for all kinds of companies, European, Asian, North American companies. All of them have to take into account those variables when dealing with the financial market. So there is a strong trend towards sustainability, and that's why ESSEC Business School 3 years ago decided to launch a master into sustainability. And I would like to highlight that in this sense, although this master is quite new to the school, it is strongly embedded in a strong culture about focus on excellence and sustainability. The idea of the master, in a sentence, is to train and develop managers, entrepreneurs, professionals who are really capable to understand how to deal with sustainability in its holistic perspective and at the global level. So understanding the different challenges, but also opportunities that sustainability creates for companies which are exposed to a global international competitions, without forgetting the different peculiarities of the different contexts in which different organizations are playing. And in this regard, as I said, the master in sustainability, although is a kind of new master, can definitely benefit from the strong reputation and competencies, skills of ESSEC Business School, which is one of the most recognized schools in the world, not only in Europe, but all around the world. It's definitely a global institution with campuses in Europe, Africa, and Asia. Faculty members, all of them, most of them, strongly committed in doing research towards sustainability. Actually, sustainability is really at the core of our business model, our priorities in terms of teaching, consultancy, and research in that regard. And it is a clear strength of ESSEC as a context where to take a master in sustainability. And just to give you the flavor, the strategy of the school for the last 4 years has been focused on 3 dimensions. One of them is artificial intelligence, of course. The other is entrepreneurship, but we have one pillar fully focused on sustainability. This to highlight that the school, in its research, consultancy, teaching, but also overarching functioning, is strongly focused on sustainability, not just as a marketing tool to convey commitment of an environment, which is something now required to every business school, but as a core element of its identity and value proposition. And of course, the Master in Sustainability that I direct as academic director obviously benefit from this kind of strong sustainability orientation of the school, because we can benefit from strong contacts with sustainability companies with a strong sustainability orientation, with professors, teachers, lecturers who have a strong knowledge of the topic from multiple perspectives, which is a key element of our program. So entering into so I hope that I've been capable to give you a very an overview of the importance of the topic, why sustainability is important, and why it is important to become expert into sustainability to find outstanding jobs in the market, in any kind of sector, any kind of industry. Actually, I would say any kind of job you would like and career path you would like to pursue. And that's extremely important also to understand the characteristics of our master. So entering to the details of the master, in the next 15-20 minutes, I would like to provide some details about the master. First, clarifying that we're talking about a one-year master, full-time master based in Paris, Sergi. So basically, you would have also the opportunity to visit and spend some time in a beautiful city in Europe. The idea is to have to customize the program, as you can see here, to customize the program to the needs of different students attending it. And in particular, as I will detail, there is at the beginning of the course of the program, there are some fundamental courses, but then the peculiarity of the program is that it is divided in 3 different majors that you can, among which you can take your courses, that are really meant to design the program around the specific needs of each participant. And it is strongly embedded and aligned with the culture of ESSEC. At ESSEC, the idea is to really design the academic trajectory of every student around their specific needs and interests. In that sense, so generally speaking, the idea is to really develop managers, professionals, entrepreneurs who are capable to understand sustainability from a very holistic perspective. I will detail what does it mean. In order to understand the problem in a general way, so understand the multiple dimensions of sustainability, while also being capable to leverage of those different dimensions associated with sustainability in a strategic way. In a strategic way, meaning in order to be capable to build more sustainable organizations and organizations that, exactly because of their sustainability approach, can get a competitive advantage in the market. And of course, leveraging on also the global positioning of ESSEC, the idea is to really try to develop a program which is a global one, so capable to show students and participants sustainability from multiple theoretical perspectives, but also practical, industry, and geographical perspective, which is a key component of the program. So it's really about developing an holistic approach from Europe to the world, generalist to strategist, and being pragmatically radical. I will explain you what I mean in a second. So a very holistic perspective, it basically means that throughout the program, you will be exposed to classes, training, learning opportunities, internship, engagement with professionals and companies in order to really understand what sustainability is. So the idea is to expose you to the most advanced theories about sustainability from multiple perspectives: management, leadership, strategy, marketing, finance, which is becoming increasingly important, accountability, supply chain management, but being also at the same time being capable to use those tools. So a strength of our program is that students are exposed to interaction with practitioners all around the world and to the real life experience in order to understand how to apply those theories in real life, while also developing the kind of emotional and relational skills that are needed in order to foster and introduce sustainability within companies, which is a key element for any sustainability entrepreneur, manager, professionals, because usually these kind of individuals are strongly motivated towards sustainability, otherwise they would not take this kind of professional path. But they also have to put effort and energies in order to convince others in the market, in the industry, within their company, of the importance of sustainability. So they need to develop some peculiar and particular soft skills, we call them, in order to make level. Also being capable to develop some kind of relationships with them to negotiate sustainability in order to convey the message. So a very holistic perspective, in order to create what we call pragmatic and radical managers. Radical in the sense that they go to the roots of the problem. They really understand the roots of sustainability, what sustainability means for different actors, for different companies, for different institutions, and how the social, economic, and environmental dimensions are interconnected, and how these connections basically create challenges for organizations. It's important to acknowledge them, but also opportunities for change and transformation. In that way, they can become capable, pragmatic managers, capable to recognize how to play with sustainability in order to transform companies and make them more socially and environmentally committed and friendly, but at the same time, and exactly because of that, more competitive, capable to get a competitive advantage, develop a distinctive proposition, etc. So in that sense, this is what we mean by pragmatically radical. It basically means that we do not want to train people who are believers in sustainability, but without recognizing how to deal with sustainability, how to manage sustainability, and how to translate sustainability in managerial practices and strategic tools. And of course, the benefit of the program is that you will be based in Europe, but with a kind of very global orientation. Europe, under multiple dimensions, is very advanced in terms of sustainability. Just to talk about regulations, Europe is probably the most advanced country in terms of regulation to reduce environmental footprint and push companies, organizations, but also individuals to be aware of sustainability and to reduce their environmental footprint, which of course creates some kind of challenges that companies have to deal with. So in a sense, Europe can be seen as a kind of laboratory where to experiment sustainability. But of course, the fact that the master is a very global master with more than 40% of students coming from outside Europe, it basically gives the opportunity to have a very broad global perspective about sustainability in class, also because of the discussion, conversations with your peers in class. So kind of class dynamics are definitely a strength of the program, exactly because of this kind of global perspective and orientation. So this is, I stress this point because to us, this is a key component of our program. And as I said, the idea, now I'm entering into the technicalities of the program if you want, the idea is really to help participants to develop step by step a more holistic and comprehensive understanding of sustainability, starting from the fundamentals of sustainability and management. So how to, for instance, at the beginning of the program, you will be exposed to courses about marketing, economics, management, but with a kind of sustainability twist in order to understand basically the fundamentals of the problem. Then you will be exposed to more, we call them verticals, so to more specialized courses and experience in which, rather than being exposed to the basic courses with a sustainability twist, you will be exposed to sustainability with a twist in finance, in marketing, etc. So what does it mean to manage sustainability in the supply chain? What does it mean to manage a luxury company with a sustainability perspective? So focus on topics, but also on industries, in order to expose you to different kind of challenges, different kind of industries that you could face in your life, in your professional trajectory. Last but not least, at the end of the course, you will also be exposed to courses about soft skill, as I said, change management, facilitation and leadership, strategy for sustainability, in order to develop those kind of skills and competencies that are needed to transform any kind of organization and make it more sustainable. So starting from the basics, what does it mean to manage a company in a sustainable way? What does it mean to be accountable for sustainability? To more specialized courses, what are the tools in order for companies to develop, to convey their ESG, for instance? What are the tools for companies in order to communicate their sustainability strategy? How are they adopted and adapted in different industries? So fashion industry versus fast fashion industry versus the automotive sector versus energy sector. And finally, how can we develop the soft skills to transform sustainability? So this is a general overview of the course. Now going a little bit more into the details of the course, very briefly. How is the master organized? As I said, 1 year master, starting very end of August. Usually the first classes are in the last week of August. In those kind of classes, the idea is to basically make you familiarize with the topic and with the class, of course. So usually we have the idea is to have between 40 and 50 participants in the master. The idea, in order to really create a kind of cohesive environment in which people can really be free to exchange ideas and participate and have a dialogue, in order also to know each other and develop that kind of relationship that can also be useful in their future career. So at the beginning, there will be courses about principles of management with a sustainability twist, cost analysis, but also activities like team building and leadership through also some interactions with local entrepreneurs and managers in the sustainability field. So the idea is to create, as I said, the basics. This is the very starting point. First month of classes focus on this to set the basis for everybody in order to make sure that everyone is on the same page when it comes to the basics. To finally, eventually starting from October until December, entering into the fundamentals of sustainability. And of course, here, this is, I would say, important given the kind of audience I'm talking to, you will also have the opportunity to take some French language classes, although I want to clarify that the course is fully in English. All classes are in English, all experiences are in English. So, but of course, living in France, spending at least 1 year in France, it's important to have a little bit of knowledge of familiarize a little bit with the language. So we give also this kind of opportunity on top of the kind of courses of responsible marketing, sustainability accounting, sustainability economics, fundamentals of economics, which is the course that I teach, in which we basically introduce the topic and we explain we provide the pillars of sustainability. And that's until December. As you can see here, it's quite demanding in terms of hours in class, but also kind of rewarding in terms of knowledge, in particular theoretical knowledge that you can develop. In order to then there is the second part of the course, which is probably, or at least to me, the most interesting from a professional perspective for two reasons. First, you will have the opportunity to engage with, to be exposed to learning expeditions, to be in contact with real entrepreneurs, managers, companies exposed and running sustainability. And second reason is that in this part of the year, you will have the opportunity to specialize and customize your program through 3 different majors. So I would like to spend a few minutes on a couple of minutes on those 2 majors. We have 3 different majors. The first one is in management and consulting. The second is in finance, analytics and reporting. Last one, share specializations. I will come back to them in a while. But 3 majors. The first one is management and consulting. The idea is to, is to train and to prepare managers, individuals willing to join big corporations, big companies, or small companies, but basically corporations, in order to drive sustainability within those corporations as sustainability managers, as corporate social responsibility managers, but also as managers, as more traditional managers like marketing managers, supply chain managers, but with a deep knowledge of sustainability, which, as I said at the beginning of my presentation, is becoming more and more important for any kind of manager. And of course, this particular measure is also designed to help individuals become sustainability consultants. So to join the bigger consultancy companies with this kind of sustainability mindset and approach, and there is an increasing demand for this kind of professions in the market all around the world. So this is definitely designed this measure is designed for those individuals willing to get specific competencies and in order to manage sustainability in order to introduce sustainability within companies. And of course, here there are a number of courses that you can get in order to specialize on that measure. The peculiarity of ESSEC, as I said, is that we offer many courses from which students can choose. So here is just here you have some of the courses you will be able to pick from our program. Of course, you could take also more courses. Another strength of ESSEC that I forgot to mention is that regarding both majors and also the chairs at the beginning, in the following slide, for all these courses, you will interact not only with your colleagues in the master, but with all the ESSEC community, because these are courses that are also offered to other students taking the mainstream master in management or master in finance, etc. So in that way, you will be fertilized also by other students and other masters. This is particularly important for those of you more interested in finance, analytics, and reporting, because this major builds extensively on our experience at the SEC on finance and sustainability finance. So in this case, you will have the opportunity to take a number of courses focus on environmental impact assessment, social impact assessment, ESG investing, impact investing, sustainable investing, auditing sustainability, etc. So this master is designed to address the expectations of those among you who are more interested in finding a sustainability trajectory within the finance and accounting domain, as a consultant, as analyst, as auditor, or as a sustainability manager within companies, but with this kind of financial and accounting twist, which again is becoming more and more important. Actually, we have evidence that all around the world, but in particular in Europe, because of the change in regulation, companies are increasingly looking for new talents with skills both in sustainability and finance or accounting, in order to combine these different elements. So this, if you want, this major is for those kind of individuals interested in combining finance, accounting numbers, if you want to be very, very basics, and sustainability. Last but not least, we have the third measure, which builds extensively on one of the key strengths of our school, ESSEC. At ESSEC, we have different chairs, we call them chairs, in which basically they are pedagogical chairs, which are specialized on different topics. So circular economy, diversity, food and business transition, sustainable finance, non-profit innovation, climate and diversity. So rather than being focused on horizontally as the previous chairs on management versus finance and auditing, here the focus is more on topics: circular economy, diversity, business transition, non-profit organizations. And also in these chairs, so students attending those chairs have the opportunity to get classes and courses from the Master in Management, strongly focused on those specific topics, and with the support of many companies which are partners of the chairs and provide training opportunities, internship opportunities, interaction opportunities, generally speaking. So this is the third option. So if you eventually decide to join the Master in Management, you can take the first measure on management and consulting, the second measure on finance and accounting, or the third measure on chairs. If this is the case, you will be asked to pick one of those chairs and you will join one of those chairs. So you can, if you're interested in circular economy and you really want to know how companies like Patagonia, for instance, really manage circular economy and manage their products to be more sustainable, that's the chair for you. If you are interested in joining, for instance, a company as a human resource manager, while diversity and inclusion is becoming a key topic for those kind of professions and roles, so that could be your chair. If by any chance, again, you are interested in finance, this is the chair for you. What is the difference between this chair and the measure and the previous measure is that the previous measure on finance and accounting start from sustainability to create a link to finance, Sustainability finance is the other way around. So they start from finance. Here, the requirement is a very strong background in finance, and then they're also creating the link towards sustainability. So in the end point is the same, but starting from different and complementary approaches. And finally, if by any chance you're interested in non-global organizations, the public sector, in terms of or becoming consultant for these big non-governmental, non-profit organizations, the non-profit innovation chair can be for you. The only the only characteristics of this chair is that at the moment it is still mainly in French, so you have to be proficient in French in order to join that specific chair. And this is the core, I would say, of the master. And of course, at the end of the master, of your experience, you will be exposed to more practical courses. So there is the professional mission and professional thesis. So at the end of your master, you will have the chance to work, to do an internship of 3-4 months in companies, at the end of which you will have to do a kind of professional thesis. And the idea here is that you basically work with an academic supervisor in order to make sense, understand, and address a problem faced by the company of your choice, or as a way to understand your company a little bit better and to apply in practice the knowledge that you have developed during the year. Our experience is that this kind of the internship in general and the professional thesis is kind of rewarding, both for students and for the companies themselves, because of course students can in that way can really provide value to the company. So I'm almost finishing the presentation of the program. Of course, if you have questions, I'm more than happy to address your questions. Before leaving you the room for questions, let me highlight a couple of issues which are extremely important to me. The first one is that this master in sustainability is addressing an increasing demand from the market of managers in sustainability, which means not only sustainability managers running or working for sustainability, socially responsible departments within companies, but for managers that are capable to run marketing, finance, human resources, supply chain with a sustainability mindset, meaning being aware of the challenges and opportunities that sustainability creates for those kind of positions. There is also an increasing trend of entrepreneurs, in particular in some areas of the world. I'm talking about African countries, Asian countries, some part of Asia in particular, more than Europe and the United States. So in those countries, there is increasing room for social or green entrepreneurs, meaning entrepreneurs who are interested in addressing and creating businesses which, while being profitable, are also capable to address social and environmental issues. Trends is suggesting us that the more successful entrepreneurs have this kind of social and environmental mindset, in particular in African countries and Asian countries. Also because these kind of entrepreneurs can nowadays rely on impact investors, socially responsible investors. So also in the financial sector, we are observing this trend of traditional businesses or new startups focusing on investing, providing financial resources on social and green investors. So that's another area in which that you could investigate, in particular if you're interested in the Asian market. And last but not least, as I said, the program, the Master in Sustainability, is a master of around 50 students. That's the idea. We want to keep it at those dimensions in order to customize the experience to each student in order to be capable, as me as an academic director, Alexis, my colleague, as executive director, but all professors to really follow and help each and every student taking the master. But you will also be engaged in a very huge, growing international community of of students. You can also benefit from a very effective career service. So job placement of the master has always been quite successful. Over the years, 90% of our students are finding a job in 1 or 2 months at the end of their experience. all of them after 3 months max by the end of their experience. Why? Because of the quality of the program for sure, but also because of the quality of our career service and our connections with many companies that are increasingly focused on sustainability all around the world. So, to conclude and close my presentation before leaving you the room for questions, who can apply for this program? Well, in order to apply for this program, you need to have at least 3 important requirements. The first one is, you have to be proficient in English, above some standards in English that you can find on the website and are here summarized. This is an important requirement, of course, given that the program is full in English. Second, you must have a bachelor degree, a 4-year bachelor degree at minimum, and you must have it before starting the master at the SEC, so before August 2025 in this specific case. If you do not have that kind of requirement, you must have at least 5 years of professional experience. And of course, you need to finance your tuition fee with your personal funds. If you have a bachelor degree, we have scholarships to support some of participants. So, standard, you have a bachelor degree. If you do not, but you have 5 years of experience, then you are still eligible for applying to the program. So this is the second requirement. So there is a first requirement about language, second requirement about the kind of degree that you have. Last requirement, you must have appetite for sustainability, broadly defined. So you don't need to be expert of sustainability by joining the program. You will be at the end of the program. Of course, you must be committed towards sustainability, interested in sustainability, given that the master is about this topic. So, an appetite for sustainability, for understanding the meaning of sustainability, the implications of sustainability, and how to manage sustainability within businesses. So, if you are interested in the master and you would like to apply, there are many rounds of applications. The first one is very close. So basically, in a couple of weeks from now, we will have the deadline for the first round of application. Of course, we have many other rounds of application. The last one is at the end of last year. It was at the end of June. We are thinking about keeping the same deadline for the very last application. You can find information on the website. But the second round would be at the beginning of 2025, so January the 7th. Of course, at midnight Paris time, so Central Europe time, so you have to take care of time difference if you are interested into applying. And of course, if you're interested to apply, you have to apply through the ESSEC website. But if you are interested to apply in having more information about the program, the master, and what ESSEC is doing in Asia, and as I said at the beginning of my presentation, a strength of ESSEC is that it is a very global institution with campuses in all around the world, also in Asia, of course, and which is, by the way, in Asia we are kind of strong under multiple dimensions. Here is the email address that you can use in order to get information about everything you are interested in, this master specifically, and more in general, the activities of ESSEC in Asia. So from my side, this is all. I thank you for for participating in this seminar. And if you have doubts, questions, this is the right time for you to ask them. I'm gonna stop my presentation and leave you the floor.
Thank you, Professor Tommaso, for that insightful and impactful session. I don't think we have any questions as I see from the chat, but as the professor mentioned, you can email us, or for more information, you can take a look at the link shared in the chat. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Professor, before we close the webinar?
Well, if there are no questions from the audience, I would like to mention two different things. The first one, I'm writing on the chat my email address in case you have, if in case anyone has follow-up questions, want to have more information, or even having a chat with me about the topic. Second thing that I would like, well, also you also put that in the chat. The second thing that I want to mention is that we are making a point to have a very international and global program. So I would say that it is a key strength of the program. I'm mentioning this here because I mean, given the kind of audience that I have. So by joining this program, you would have the chance to live an experience in France and in Paris in particular, which is not bad for being in Europe, to be exposed to an amazing city, an amazing country, but still living in a kind of global environment, because the master in sustainability is really global and heterogeneous in terms of participants, not only the nationality of participants, but also their background experience. And it is a key strength of the program because it provides a rich experience to all participants, who not only learn from professors and from the many practitioners and managers that collaborate with the program, but also benefit from interaction with their peers. So I think that as the last takeaway of this presentation, I think that I would like to stress again this point more than the technicalities of the program or the pedagogical contents of the different courses.
Thank you so much, Professor. This brings us to the end of today's webinar. To all attendees, we at ESSEC Asia Pacific hope you enjoyed the session as much as we did putting it together. Again, for more information on the program, please visit the link shared in the chat. And we hope you have a pleasant day ahead. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.